Coming up tonight on YCN News, a Henniker police officer was justified in using deadly force. Fees will rise at the Claremont Community Center, and Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream announces a new product. For more news, sports, and weather, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It's Friday, January 16th. I'm Laura James. Welcome to YCN News. New Hampshire Attorney General Joseph Foster says in a report that a Henniker police officer was justified in using deadly force in the shooting of an armed robbery suspect. In the detailed report, Foster concludes that Officer Stephen Dennis acted properly, firing at suspect Aaron Cadman of Franklin, New Hampshire this past November 26th. Cadman, then 19, was struck in the arm, suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Foster writes in the report that Officer Dennis's actions were justified under the law. It was believed Cadman had a weapon, and that other people in the area of routes 202 and 9 were in danger. Police throughout the area were looking for Cadman after he allegedly stole a truck parked outside Webster Place Recovery Center in Franklin earlier that November day. When spotted by Officer Dennis and Henniker, Cadman refused to stop and pull over. Cadman caused 2 motor vehicle accidents trying to drive away from Henniker. The full report can be read online at YCN's blog, wycu.wordpress.com. When it opened in March of 2013, the brand new Claremont Savings Bank Community Center drew visitors and members to its South Street location, not far from downtown Claremont. Membership continues to rise, especially among families and seniors, defined as anyone aged 55 and older. Now, fees to use the fitness center and indoor pool will rise after Claremont City Councilors voted to approve a new fee schedule during Wednesday night's meeting. Increases are for city residents and non-residential users of the facility, and its programs are now in effect. Residential family passes will rise $50 and will now cost $350 a year, compared to the new non-residential rate of $475. Raising the fees will help with building maintenance, yet counselors also don't want to scare away any new members or day pass users. Still, the vote to raise fees at the rec center and for other city services was not a unanimous one. Counselors Charlene Lovett and Nick Kolosky voted against fee hikes. They were outnumbered, however, by Councilors Keith Raymond, Kyle Messier, and Mayor James Nielsen and John Simons. Claremont Police and several law enforcement agencies spent much of yesterday outside a home on Plains Road. In the end, one man was arrested for his alleged role in setting up a meth lab at 302 Plains Road. No one from the neighborhood was evacuated, nor were there any injuries. 29-year-old Jason Smith was arrested pending his arraignment in district court. Keeping education spending in line with what voters may agree to remains the job of any local school board. In one Sullivan County town, that discussion became heated last week. For now, the 2015 to 16-year budget for the Newport School District operating budget is in. Newport residents will determine later this year if a $16.9 million spending plan is right for students and taxpayers. Safety before shade. That's the decision made by the Lebanon City Council last night, involving removing over 30 acres of trees along Poverty Lane near the municipal airport, reports the Valley News. There were some objections to cutting the trees down during yesterday night's public hearing, yet city leaders say the trees block the view of pilots when landing and leaving the airport, especially on the airport's east to west runway. Federal guidelines also require that the trees be cleared or the airport will lose grant money key to its operation. Most of the cost of this $1.2 million project the federal government will pick up. That's up to 90%. The state and city will split the cost of the remaining 10%. Up to 33 acres of trees will be cleared out, and a fence will be moved. Plans call to replace 38 obstruction lights. In place of the lights, 2 110-foot-tall, slow-flashing beacons will be installed. Flags throughout New Hampshire will fly at half-staff tomorrow in honor of Navy Special Warfare Operator First Class William Blake Marston of Concord. Governor Maggie Hassan issued the order yesterday as a tribute to the fallen soldier. Marston died as a result of injuries suffered during a parachute training exercise in DeLand, Florida, says Hassan. Marston's unyielding commitment to serving his fellow citizens, his state, and his country demonstrated the very best of the strength and resilience that define the Granite State. Though there is nothing we can do to ease the pain of his loss, Tom and I join all Granite Staters in coming together to do everything that we can to support Blake's family, loved ones, and community. In other New Hampshire news, police officers can apply for a license to learn how to administer Narcan to reverse the effects of opiate drug overdoses. Narcan is the popular name for a nasal spray that has helped save people's lives from heroin and similar street drug overdoses. That, according to New Hampshire state officials, all 4 general levels of emergency medical services have the ability to administer Narcan, including many of the state's firefighters. The new rules would create a new license level authorizing Narcan's use by trained police officers who choose to apply for the license. After the break, Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream announces a new product. We'll find out more.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Laura James. For those without medical insurance, you can sign up under the nation's health insurance law through February 15th. Just go to healthcare.gov to check out the available plans. Enrollment by February 15th provides coverage through December 31st. 8 out of 10 people are typically eligible for the financial help with the monthly premiums, federal officials say. Turning to Southern Vermont news, the Brattleboro Reformer reports Brattleboro will try to make sure enough bicycle wheels can be squeaked to get some financial grease from state transportation leaders. That's because the Vermont Agency of Transportation is studying what cities and towns have the most number of bike riders. This will help determine where the state can invest money into traffic corridors specifically for bicyclists. That, according to the Brattleboro Reformer. Also known as VTrans, agents in this state agency aren't promising any town, including Brattleboro, any extra money to design bike paths. Still, some towns want to be seen as bike-friendly in case money from the state becomes available for local grants to spruce up paths just for those who travel on 2 wheels. As we're a couple of weeks into the new year now, this is often the time keeping those New Year's resolutions might be a little more challenging, and according to Business Week Online, a Vermont company just might be making it a little more difficult to do just that, especially if your goal was to shed a pound or 2. This week, Ben & Jerry's launched 3 flavors with cookie cores, which join the brand's existing core lineup of ice creams that have fillings like fudge caramel and raspberry jam. The new flavors are called Boom Chocolata Cookie Core, Peanut Butter Cookie Core, that's spelled B-U-T-T-A-H, and Spectacular Speculous Cookie Core. So what makes them unique? Well, the center has a texture that's kind of like cookie dough, but crunchier, according to the senior brand manager at Ben & Jerry's. His name is John Henry Sedlecki. And while it seems counterintuitive to talk ice cream in the winter, most new ice creams are actually launched from January to April. That's for a couple of reasons. New flavors give consumers a reason to buy ice cream during a season when most are inclined to eat other things for dessert. Plus, according to Sedlecki, it gives consumers the chance to get used to the new flavor by the time the new season arrives. So if you're inclined to do so, the Waterbury, Vermont Ben & Jerry's factory also they offer 30-minute tours and, of course, a free sampler, too. You can get full information online at benjerry.com. A spokesperson for Ben & Jerry's could not be reached for a comment today. When YCN News returns, we'll check in with Kearsarge Chronicles' Lynn Solomon as she sat down with a conversation with Scott Blewett of the New London Recreation Department.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. The big game is this weekend. Looks like some rain down in Foxborough. What do you say we check that forecast a little bit closer to home now with Matt McDonald?
Thanks, Laura. This weekend may bring us different kinds of precipitation depending on where you live in the region. Rain, snow, and ice is expected. Tonight, however, will be mostly clear with a low around -6. Wind chills may bring -14 winds. Saturday will be sunny with a high near 13 and wind chills as low as -7. Saturday night will be mostly cloudy with a low around 11. Wind chills may reach 0. Sunday there may be a chance of rain or snow after 1 p.m. with a high near 34. Sunday night a 50% chance of snow showers is expected with lows in the 20s.
Snow Country Snapshot is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire.
Hallie O'Brien here with Jason Bain of Okemo in Vermont. Jason was just showing me around all of the new fun stuff they've got going on. The Sunburst 6. It's the 6-pack high-speed bubble chair with
heated seats.
Oh yeah, it's the only one of its kind in North America. It gives a whole new hue to the mountain. It's like an Instagram filter built right into the chairlift. Plus, you got some new stuff going on with your terrain parks.
Yeah, we got Snow Park Technologies building our park this year. The same folks who brought you the US Open and the Dew Tour. Should be really fun. Just come check it out.
Park skiers and riders can tackle 3 different terrain parks at Mount Sunapee with 32 features. Ragged Mountain has a new high-speed quad chair at Spear Mountain. The 3 long major trails, Cardigan, Flying Yankee, and Showboat, are all open from that quad. And Pat's Peak celebrates Diversity Day from 3 to 9 Monday. Pay 1 low price for skiing and snowboarding, tubing, rentals, and lessons. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
This is what it's all
10.
about. Dedication right here.
Oh my.
Look at that.
Now tell me, what time is it?
What time is it?
Okemo time! Let it glow, let it glow. That's right, Okemo is letting it glow with their first ever laser show on Sunday night. Start fun, start free. This is your chance to learn to ski or snowboard for free at Bromley. It's first come, first serve, so make your reservations and learn on their state-of-the-art terrain-based learning area. I'm Hallie O'Brien, signing off from Okemo in Vermont. We'll see you next week.
Let's turn now to our YCN community calendar. On Sunday, stop by Arrowhead Recreation Area in Claremont for World Snow Day starting at 10 a.m. There will be a farmers market in Windsor, Vermont at the Welcome Center from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And in White River Junction, bingo will be held at the Gates Briggs building from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. There are some upcoming local high school sports games to get ready for. Hanover and Souhegan will face each other in girls basketball tomorrow at Hanover High School. In boys hockey, Lebanon will host Winnicott tomorrow. Another hockey game will see Kearsarge face off with Manchester West in Manchester. In girls hockey, Hanover will host opponent Exeter tomorrow as well. YCN News will bring you the results of these games on Monday.
Thanks, Matt. When YCN News returns, we'll join Lisa Cannell and John O'Connor for another Week in Review segment.
The YCN News continues in a moment.